been called lots of stuff. Yeah, I've done a lot of deed. I've had it rough and tough. You know I've smoked a lot of weed. Mellow, don't you know? Well, I've learned a thing or two, like when and where I should go to, what I should or shouldn't do. I've been left alone, no company, but that's alright with me, 'cause I'm big and ugly. I'm big and ugly. I'd like to let it grow, you know I'm talking about my beard. I'll have you all know that I know sometimes it might look weird, but I got a friend upstairs whom I'll keep confiding in. I know he's there 'cause when I knock he always lets me in. Brings me peace with what it is and what is not for me. To accept what I see, they're looking back at me as big and ugly. Big and ugly. I could have been small and cute and play a flute like a dream, or sing like an angel, maybe play ukulele. But I got to work with my hands and keep dragging it along, banging on that old guitar. Sometimes I'll write a song. I lose a few friends, so it seems I got no enemies. 'Cause what you get is what you see, that's how it is with me, 'cause I'm big and ugly. I'm big and ugly. Big and ugly.
Hey, welcome back to the Big Uglies. I'm your host, Josh Denny, and with me, as always, is me, your other host, host, Mr. Big Spit, Carl Spitali. How's it going, buddy?
What's up, buddy? Big week.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that in a good way and a bad way. You know, it was funny. I was telling you right before we started that we are exactly a year away from when we filmed the special last year. My special Goliath, which you guys can watch on YouTube or X. But, you know, kind of a bittersweet memorial because it was shot at our club that we frequented in Torrance called The End. And this week, The End came to an end. So they sold to new owners, and a few people are aware of this already. Well, I hope a lot of people are aware of this already, but we not only did the club end, but our relationship with the venue ended because they canceled our show for Saturday. And I remember having this conversation with Gavin last week or maybe 2 weeks ago when the owner's son, who is one of the new owners, texted me and was like, "We're getting backlash for having you guys." I knew like right then and there that this was going to be a problem, you know, and I think I told you this. I was like, I knew the minute he said something to me that this was trending in the wrong direction. And I kind of thought, you know, well, listen, we've done a dozen shows with them between you and I, and our buddy Sam Tripoli and Gavin and Anthony. And then, my company booked Sam Hyde shows there with them last year and put a lot of money in their pocket. And that seemed to not matter at all, because when push came to shove, a handful of, pissy, cunty South Bay rich housewives were able to get the show canceled. And so we had to relocate it, which we're not unaccustomed to. So are you listening intently, or did we lose you?
Yeah. No, I was just listening.
You look very Garth Algar, just sort of like chill.
Yeah.
So yeah, on this Good Friday, we are prepping.
I was gonna say,
it's
it's Holy Week.
California. Yeah, secret show in California for the first time, and it wouldn't be Holy Week, right? If we weren't thrust into something that felt like we're back in a religious crusade again. And a lot of the thing about like religious crusades is that not everybody makes it. You know what I mean?
It's actually crusades.
I mean, but you look back this last year, and there's a lot of people that we had as friends and colleagues or whatever, and people that just didn't make it. As this sort of culture war that we're in evolves and changes. And listen, you and I talk about this all the time, is that like, it's so fucking frustrating to have been, I feel like, sort of like chucked into the middle of this culture war through affiliations and our political leanings and choices like that. Because at the end of the day, like, dude, we just want to do comedy and make people laugh.
Yeah. And it's actually one of the things that is so infuriating is just like, when you look at the people that I guess have the right opinions and stuff, and they don't even have to ever worry about that type of shit. It's like, that's all it comes down to. It's like, you don't like what I say, then change the channel. Like, to go, the go out of their way stuff. Like, and we said this was going to happen before, of like, where it's people that don't even, this happens with athletes and sporting events and stuff, where they go like, this guy needs to apologize. I can't believe he said that. I was like, were you ever going to buy a ticket to the game? Do you support that franchise? Right. And they'd be like, well, no. And they're like, then shut the fuck up. Change the channel.
This is what we told. This is what we told the venue. So here's our dates. You guys can go to censored.tv/tour. You can go to tinyurl.com/censored-live. Why is that doing that? Show that. Yeah, there we go. Censored.tv/tour. You go to tinyurl.com/censored-live. You can get tickets. We have LA tomorrow. We added a couple buddies. Obviously, everyone knows Carl's been on there, but we added our friend Sam Tripoli to the lineup as well. And then there's going to be some special guests the rest of these. So, you look at Boca Raton, you look at Pittsburgh, you look at Detroit, you look at now Austin that we added for July 11th. You could see some people pop up. There were a couple people in the comments that were like, Sam Tripoli on the same lineup as Gavin McInnes. I never thought I'd see the day. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of what we want to do with this tour this summer. So you might see Leonardo Joni pop up on some of these shows. You might see Ty Rivera pop up on some of these shows. So, the idea is that this tour, and these tours have always sort of been about bringing, the so-called canceled people out of the woodwork to get together and make people laugh. We had Alex Jones pop on the Austin show last time, but one of the things that was really funny, and I'll pull this up here while we talk, but on set, so as much as I love, the challenges that come along with having to move shows around and all that kind of stuff, which I'm being completely sarcastic. It's a fucking nightmare. But one of the things I love is the way that Gavin sort of always sort of finds a way to, make these things a little bit more lighthearted and funny than they feel in the moment. And I don't know if you saw this, but I want to log in and show it to people from Wednesday's Compound Censored. And, it's been kind of a shitty week for that and other reasons of dealing with the show being canceled and just some other stuff going on. But this definitely cheered me up quite a bit on Wednesday's Compound Censored. And I want to pull this up and show it to everybody, which was quite funny. So what's kind of cool is, this whole thing is basically like liberals sort of doxing our shit and getting it shut down and canceled. Well, that cuts both ways. So one of our fans messaged me and said, hey, I found one of the women who has infiltrated the ticket buying thing that is trying to get the shows canceled. And so
basically they were buying tickets and then bragging on a Facebook or Reddit group that hey, I can't wait to fucking, and so
this was a pretty funny thing that Gavin did the other day. Let me pull this up.
But a tiny little Reddit campaign got picked up by some cunt.
Cunt. It's the only word that fits. Cunt.
Just a cunt. I looked up her house. It's worth $2.4 million.
Right.
Pull her up, Jamie. That's 1.6, I think.
The people, right?
What does she do to afford a house like that on her own?
She helps women breathe after they have a baby and teach them how to lactate. So it's like a what do you call those? A mula, a dharma, a doula?
Close, third time.
So there's not a massive demand. I mean, it's cute. Right. It helps pregnant or women who just had kids and pregnant women. They do a yoga class. It's what you do when your husband's rich, right?
So let me see if I can scrub through here. This is her face, obviously, just a super lovely lady. But you gotta love the thing I love the most about Gavin is
I'm gonna see if she picks up
is his direct willingness to do
California's a two consent state. What's it called?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's a one-party consent.
Yeah.
Tell me if this comes in too loud or too quiet. What's her name? Samantha?
I described this to him as Ned Flanders being mad that his Nazi rally got shut down. Pretty funny.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hey, Samantha, it's Gavin McInnes calling from Compound Censored with Anthony Cumia. We're just trying to figure out why you would cancel a comedy show. I guess I'll try Decora Plants or Fireside Sanctuary, but I don't get the logic. Like, I'd understand if it was a rally to like go beat up immigrants or something, and we were there to like get our beating up supplies. But it's people privately hearing jokes. I get hating the jokes. I hate some of them too, but I don't get why you think you're doing a service by making us have to change the venue. I mean, all you're really doing is adding to people's Ubers. It doesn't seem logical to me. Anyway, maybe I'm wrong, but give me a call back. You have my number now. Let's see what's up. And I'd love to get you on the show.
Right? The ending of that was so funny to me, where he just goes, anyway, call me back. Let's see if we can work this thing out. Your thoughts on that?
I thought it was funny that she bragged that she was going to do that, and then she's gonna ask for a refund or something? Tell her credit card company.
Oh yeah,
I didn't purchase this, and be like, bitch, we could see that. Like,
well, and the other thing is,
do you think that buying a ticket and then you not being there, that just means the seat isn't full, right? That one seat isn't taken, but we still have your money.
Well, and she thinks like all these activists, like, well, I'll just go to my bank and do a chargeback, but it's like,
you
hey,
won't. This is like evidence of you bragging that you bought a ticket to what did she say? Gather info.
Yeah, you bought a ticket on purpose. This is basically credit card fraud for the purpose of activism. So when your bank comes to me and says, we want to charge back the cost of this ticket,
and we just go, no.
And by the way, we're not doing that because she's attempting to, do activism by infiltrating our ticket buying for people. But what I think is so interesting is, when you go through this process of getting shows canceled, obviously I get on the horn, you get on the horn, we start talking to everybody we know in the world of comedy. We're coming up with new venues, and by the end of the night, I think I found out like 5:00 on Monday, and by 9:00 we had like a fucking bidding war going on for the show of places that wanted to have it, because
it's actually fun. That was actually fun.
Yeah, it's Coachella weekend. Everybody's like struggling to fill their bars and clubs and stuff like that. So there were a couple places that were like, listen, like, we don't necessarily agree with your politics, but we'll take 100+ people on a Saturday night. So, that part is nice, but that's kind of the thing that blows my mind is that, I used to watch shows like Bar Rescue all the time. And,
shut it down.
Even before that, you'd have your Tabitha Takes Over and you'd have all these like saving a business show. And at the end of the day, it's like, don't these people like money? And you
decided as the new owners, you're going to not have a comedy show here anymore. How many times did you have a comedy show here before? About 12 times. And now you're not making any money.
Right.
You'd rather shut it down.
Yeah, they did. And by the way, talk about pussies. I mean, talk about absolute pussies. When Ashton, the son of the business, called me to tell me that he was like, listen, we have to shut the business down for like 7-8 days to do training and stuff on the new menu. And then, consequentially, that means we'll have to cancel the show. I go, don't fucking lie to me like I'm an idiot. Like, you guys are being pussies. And you thought, rather than just cancel the show, we'll shut the business down for 7 days. So they literally shut it down.
That's what they did. They didn't want to make any money the whole weekend. What, are you going to lose a lot of chicken wings in there? Because what's in the freezer? Doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, and
what's on the new menu? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and what happens?
Be serving ghosts,
right? And so what happens when like people find like, oh yeah, you guys cancel these people because of political pressure from people that will never patronize your business, and then
I just don't understand that. I don't understand caving to a bunch of people that were never going to buy actual tickets or patron your business in the first place. They're not going to go in there to buy a drink. They're not going to go in there to even have your random trivia nights or whatever the fuck you have there. They're never going to do that. The only thing they wanted you to do was bow down to them, to the mob.
Right.
And like, you caving makes you be a cunt. And here's the other thing. Do you think after the people that got the shit to shut down don't frequent your business, that all of a sudden the locals who were supporting you are going to all of a sudden go, hey, what happened to all the comedy shows and stuff here? And you go, oh, actually, we're new owners. We had to shut that down because we didn't want any offensive speech here. And you go, oh, I'll never come here again. It's like all the people who were there before are just like, oh, you guys are like the same as it. Why would you move into this neighborhood? Like, or why would you take over this business? Like, this is not what we want here as the actual patrons of this business.
Right. And that's essentially what's going to happen is that, people will be like, oh, you guys don't do comedy here anymore. I mean, and what's funny, and,
I'll find out.
I'll be straightforward about this. Like, our good buddy Nick, who's been on our show, he does most of the bookings for the end. And just in having conversation with him, he's like, listen, I have a good partnership with these guys, but like I told him, I was like, this could have happened to you anytime over the last 12 weeks with some of the comics you've had in there, Adam Carolla, Brian Callen, Chris D'Elia. So like, you think about it, it's like, dude, your livelihood depends on their willingness to,
not be faggots.
Yeah, I mean,
at the end of the day, it's just like the livelihood is dependent upon you. Just don't be a faggot, and you can make 12-15 grand a night.
Yeah,
instead,
and they're just like,
it's like, actually, I think
like,
we're gonna be faggots on this one.
Yeah, it's literally like be like, don't be a faggot, and the end is just sitting. Well, now it's not the end. It's called Mom Said Yes, which is very gay, but they're just sitting there with like a dick in their hand, like, no, don't do it. And he's like, no. And then, unfortunately for us, this week they were like, gah, and just took the entire thing in their mouth. So, faggotry is going to happen. You're going to have to move your shows around, and we found a new venue. But this didn't just happen to us. This happened to Sam Hyde last week, too, in Pittsburgh. Did you see this? Did you hear about this?
No, I didn't, but that's news to me. Do you see this? You hear about this?
Oh, man. But this is, it's like, not to be like, Yeah, and this is what really frustrates me is you know, at the beginning of the year, you know, with sort of shit that happened, it's like, okay, we're on to new shit. No more talking about cancel culture or any of that stuff, right? Like, it's time to evolve. It's time to
And they
move
kind of
on.
like force your hand.
Yeah, and then it's like it's like every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. You know, it's and here it is. So you know, I worked with Sam and his team last year, getting them started doing stand up, and then you know they kind of took things in house and wanted to kind of branch out and work with some other people, and that's fine. And I had a great working relationship with those guys. I think they were really easy to work with, and shout outs to the homie. Boy, this is really bad. Chris Lynch, who's one like their manager, really great guy to deal with, and I had a ton of fun working with him. But we knew, you know, part of the reason they wanted to work with me is because they knew that this was a possibility for them, and luckily for us, like we were able to book them last year, and we didn't keep venues secret. We had no issues whatsoever. But here they are. I mean, it finally comes to root. And this venue in Pittsburgh shut them down. This Hop Farm Brewing Company cancels their appearance. Now, let me be clear about this, dude. These guys had 500 tickets over 2 shows sold. We're talking about
already sold, yeah.
Yeah, so if you think the average ticket in a bar, let's say, okay, it's not LA, it's Pittsburgh, so let's assume they're not $20 drinks or whatever, but let's say it's like $25 a head. Per hour
that they'll get for drinking and
drinking, right?
On top of that, they'll have, I don't know if they have a limited food menu or something. So you say you'll average $10-15 for that.
Yeah, something like that. But let's say it's $25-30 a head. You know, you're looking at $7,500 a show. This is a bar had an opportunity to make 15-20 grand. And I think this was on a week. Yeah, it's April 12th, so it was on a weeknight. So how many people on a Wednesday? How many bars in Pittsburgh on a Wednesday have an opportunity?
What was the 12th?
Yes, 6 days ago.
Yeah, that was a Saturday.
Oh, would it have been a Saturday? Oh, I guess it was a Saturday. Okay, yeah. So a Saturday, but still, I mean, you know, I don't know how many, you know, small town bars or even Pittsburgh city bars are doing a packed house of 500 people on a random Saturday in April.
Well, I also think about this: 500. Even if it was half that amount in cars, right? 200 cars there. You're thinking about the city where and the surrounding areas, parking, all the things that generates.
You're talking about the full economic impact of the area.
Yeah. So they cancel a show, right? And they go, hey, why? I thought there was going to be 500 people here tonight. Like the tow truck guy who's got to work, and now they got to pay that guy, and he's got no cars to fucking tow because no drunk guy parked at a place, you know, like even the fucking meter maids and all that shit, just everything that goes into all the parking garages and all that type of shit. Other restaurants in the area that people want to get food before they go to a show at a brewery or whatever, you know, or after, like the after bars and shit like that. Not to mention people hanging out after, and they're not going to kick everybody out, and they're, you know, getting drinks on top of that. They could have easily made 20 grand that night.
Sure.
And so to think that they're like, oh man, we just can't have somebody talking bad when people paid to see it, right? It's like if people paid to see the circus and they were abusing animals for 100 years when they had the circus, for the longest time they still had the circus, right? People just didn't go. And then like eventually they're like, all right, this is a little inhumane. Let's change up the circus. Now they're essentially saying, hey, dude, you can't even pay for the humane circus, right? They're like, you can't even have the fucking no animal circus. You're like, but we took the animals away. Like, we still can't have the circus? They're like, yeah, no, we're just going to not do the I know we told you guys you can do that and you bought your tickets, but we're just going to go ahead and be faggots.
Well, and this is what bothers me about it is like sort of the amount of lying that goes on to this. So like if you read their comments, this Matthew Goins guy, it's like alt-right comedian Sam Hyde is not welcome at Hop Farm Brewing Company in Lawrenceville. He canceled a scheduled event with the comedian as soon as he learned of his hateful rhetoric. And then here it says, by the way, this is written by the Pittsburgh Jewish Chronicle, so take this with a grain of kosher salt. But the anti-Semitic, racist, homophobic comedian. So it's not enough that he's anti-Semitic for the Jewish Chronicle. They have to make sure you know he also hates blacks and gays. was scheduled through promoter Hazy Heckler to appear at the brewery on April 12th. Goins and his wife. So they got to name the wife too. Oh, I guess she's the co-owner. Were unaware of Hyde's hate-filled material and comments before an online Chronicle article highlighted his history, which includes mocking victims of the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting days after the attack. Right? It's like, these are the tenets of fucking comedy. Like, if you can't make fun of like, and this is what I think is so intellectually dishonest about this shit when it happens, is like, when black comedians go on stage and they're like, "I kill 100 white people," they go, he's joking. But when a white comedian does it, they go, well, this is hate speech, because they couldn't possibly be joking.
Right. And the other thing too is, I don't want to say, like, well, for lack of words, like benefit of the doubt, but Sam had the benefit of the doubt of, they would go, who do we book in this, like last year, like, who do we book in this venue? It was like, I don't know, some YouTuber. I can't believe all these kids came out to see it. Right. And now it's like, yo, they've been doing live shows for a year. Here's this guy. And they go, wait a minute. The very same YouTuber who says that XYZ. And you'd be like, yeah, that guy sold all these tickets. And they go, we can't have that. And like, first of all, how many Jews are in Pittsburgh?
Well, they have a whole chronicle. I don't know if you noticed, but they have a chronicle.
Oh, they're the Steelers. I figured it out. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Like, well, you know, you can't say anti-Semitic things, but let me ask you this. How would you feel if they said this about the homosexuals and African-American community?
I would laugh. If it was funny, I would laugh.
Well, you know.
My favorite line in this, though, I do want to point out, is this right here. Matthew said he has a Jewish employee. Oh, well, throw the whole goddamn business out for the one Jewish employee. And is friends with many members of the LGBT community and loves all people. Can I just go on a record and say this? If you are one of these faggots that says something like, I love all people, you're a fucking liar. Because we all know somebody who's part of some group that we can't fucking stand at all. That's why I hate
Judas.
Yeah, exactly.
Even Jesus was like, man, this fucking guy.
Right. Right. I mean, he's like king of the Jews, and he's like, we could do without this one in hindsight. You know what I mean? Like,
this guy sold me out for a fucking shekels of silver.
Yeah.
Even that guy, he was like, listen, man, I don't like everybody.
Yeah. And
I'm still going to lead with love and laugh. Also, if you don't think it's Holy Week, so I just say this. Do you not think that Jesus had a sense of humor about so much shit? Of course he did. He wasn't saving perfect people. He was saving sinners like hookers and gamblers and shit like that. It's like all the degenerates used to hang around Jesus. So it was like the worst people of society.
I think stupid people are proof that God has a sense of humor, and I think stupid people having big giant dicks is proof that he has a sense of justice.
So all right, we need to bring this up.
We talked about it.
We talked about it last episode, so that with somebody had also said this, and I was like, it's a woman who said, oh, and I told him what you said. I was like, yeah, Josh, on the last episode, we got on the subject of on Love on the Spectrum, and they're
on the spectrum,
and he was like, yeah, I bet he's got a hog.
Yeah, and
she goes, that makes sense. He's got like girthy calves. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then it hit me that they're all watching this show to think like, look at that. I bet he's not, they'll just to themselves will go, he's not that retarded.
Yeah. And if you don't know who we're talking about, if you don't know who we're talking about Tanner from Love on the Spectrum, and here is him.
Thank you. You're welcome. I
got the wrong screen here shared. Let me pull the right one up.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, this is Tanner from Love on the Spectrum.
Hey, you
Hold
want to
it,
hear
hang
what size condoms I wear?
I
I wear Durex and Magnum and
They make Trojan. They make Durex. They make Magnums. They make. I don't even know the other. What are the other brands other than Durex and Magnums or Trojans? I'm saying Magnums like it's a brand. Like I've ever even opened one. Like on it. Like it would feel. me opening a
Hey, is our theme song
Magnum
playing?
condom would be like me walking into a Planet Fitness. It would be hard for me to hold a straight face at any point.
That's only coming through me. That's our. Is that just on my end?
What? I don't hear anything. What do you hear?
The theme song.
To what? Love on the Spectrum?
No, our show.
Oh no, I don't hear a theme song at all. Let me make sure it's not playing. No, not playing. You must have another browser that popped open in the background or something. But anyway, you could tell. I mean, like, here are these calves that we're talking about. And, I don't know if you could tell if this guy is like, what in the fuck, ads? You're literally covering the part I'm trying to show the audience. Skip. All right. So you'd see his big, hairy, thick calves. And listen, I didn't say that I thought this guy had a big old hog.
Yeah.
For any other reason that for any other, let me fucking finish. God damn it! I didn't say that he had a big old hog for any other reason that I think it would be fair for him to have a big old hog. You know what I mean? Like that's why if a woman ever looks at my dick and she's disappointed, I just go, well, it can't be a genius and hung. What the fuck? What do you expect?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
That 140 IQ has got to come from somewhere. That's where it came from.
This is where I had the issue was the fact that I had the issue because she was like, that makes sense.
Right? That he would have a big dick.
And I was like, no, why does that make sense? I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's not something that was like you needed detective work for or something. Like, I have a hunch and this will be we need to establish some evidence to go with this.
It's not really a hunch.
And then she said, okay, but to use girthy and not about the cock, but imply and the implication about the cock, right? Saying, well, he has girthy calves. That bothered me.
Okay. Now, did it?
I don't know. I don't know. I got to be alone on this. Huh?
What bothered you? Was it the implication that a man's calves are a lot like his dick?
I don't know. Is this technical? Is this on my end?
Yeah, it's got to be on your end, buddy.
Shit?
Yeah, you might have to pop out and pop back in. Like somebody with girthy calves. All right, we'll remove Big Spit for a moment. But I don't know. I don't know if anybody else in the chat watches this show. I don't even think the people in the chat watch this show. But if you watch Love on the Spectrum, if you guys know what I'm talking, I mean, this is the other thing I said too. Is this is how you have to explain black people, right? I mean, explains why there's these giant dicks and somewhat compromised IQs in some cases. Carl, you are double logged in. If I kick that guest, do you come back as the regular guest? Let me try this. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, good. Weird. You were in twice.
I think that was the problem. Somehow. I don't know how that happened. Are we
yeah, I don't know.
I'm good. I'm clear now, and
we had to kill you and bring you back to life.
That's what it was. There's no latency issue on
I was starting to ask. I was like, do you just hate the correlation between a man's calves and a man's dick?
No,
because anybody who's seen
I hated the correlation.
Thick, veiny calves.
No, I hated the correlation that girthy was used for calves. Also,
well, people describe body is girthy, but nobody's ever tried to stick me in their pussy.
I don't think you're trying hard enough, buddy.
Nobody tried to stick my whole body in their pussy, you know?
You just
And
you haven't met the right one. That's what it
and
is.
that
You
just
haven't met the right one.
It just proves how much ladies are cowards. Because if you really want, there was a comic who used to perform in LA like 10 years ago, a guy named Stam Stevens, and he was kind of a goofball, but he had this great bit where he was like, if size really mattered, fisting would be way more possible, or would be way more popular. I say he was like, he goes, because I've slept with a lot of different kinds of women, and I've never presented both and had a woman go, I'll take the fist.
I don't even want to stick my thumb in there because I'm afraid to stretch it out.
Oh yeah. Well, what do you have? Giant thumbs? Who are these children? Sized vaginas you're playing around with? Jesus Christ.
Well, I'll tell you a story. We had this. There's a chick that both me and my boy back home both hooked up with.
Okay, this is all just so people know, when I call you N-word Carl, these are the stories that lead to the legacy of that.
And we called her, between me and him, we had a nickname for her, and we called her Frumta. And that was just because I told him, I was like, I said, bro, I hit it from the back. I said, you know, when you just kind of just play with it and get a little action going before you go in there. I was like, let me see. And I just like stuck 2 fingers. I was like, man. And I stuck my thumb in like a bowling ball, and it just went thump, like thump. And it was just like a frumta type of deal. And then I always, in my back of my mind, any chick, I'm like, do I got to do a thumb check? Do I got to do a frumta check?
A thumb check? So,
yeah,
so
you
what
know,
do
you give them a little, just to see, because if this part of the thumb, this like base,
the heel,
is that what that is? If that can access air and it can go down, it's like a hot dog down a hallway. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to, regardless of if she can Kegel and squeeze your, finger while you're in there, while you're testing it. Because they do that. They do that. Like you'll slide a finger in there and then they'll just, squeeze and give a Kegel to act like, it's super tight, even though they're like, all right, I'll be like, just relax. Yeah, just, like they want the initial thing to be like super tight, so you can you go, oh yeah, I need to get some of this, and then you're in there like, wait a minute, bitch, what happened to the pussy I was just playing with?
Yeah, I like that.
What kind of pussy is this?
I like that you do pussy sound check.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you're in there and you're.
Oh no, that's way too much bass.
That's too much. And then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
And you're like, oh boy, and it's giving a little feedback from the speaker.
Yeah. You're like, I think it's
like in a bass amp or on other speakers, and it's got that the air pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So the air can come out this way instead of so you don't blow the speaker.
Yeah. Subwoofer pussy is what you're talking about. She's got a subwoofer.
I mean, isn't that what it's called? A woof. What's that thing that Mike Epps called it? Wolf pussy.
Yeah, dude.
This is a wolf pussy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would think if pussy's more like a kick drum than a snare drum, it's a problem. You want it to be tight.
With the kick drum. Come.
Yeah, you wanted to have that
with the kick drum. Come.
Yeah. Yeah. You want snare drum pussy. You don't want kick drum pussy.
I like a tight hi-hat, to be honest with you.
A jazz man, are we? Just a bit of a jazz man, eh?
You definitely don't want a floor tom. You know what I'm talking about?
No. Or a kick drum. I'll tell you, I fucked I fucked a Filipino chick in LA when I moved here who had she had a double kick drum. She had a Lars Ulrich going on down there where I felt like I could
Joey Jordison. She was out there with
yeah, dude.
Bitch had Slipknot pussy.
I felt the air rise up in me.
That's like, what he's talking about, buddy.
I felt like I could have put my whole head in that pussy. It was insane.
And that was the chick that you should have tried the whole body on.
Yeah, I should have. Well, she had a couple other bodies come out of there at one point, but none my size. You know what I mean? That's the real. You try to swallow them.
Hello, sir. I'm going to put you in my pussies now. This is for your pussies. We're going to put it like you wear me like a hats, and when you put on like a hats, and then I'm going to slide down your big bodies. Okay, please don't move. God. Don't move a lot because it might hurt.
You got to do where they go high and then low. Remember, I said they go.
Yes, don't, because if you move a lot, it might rip my body in half.
Oh fuck!
Have you ever had your body rip in half from the sex?
I can't say that I have.
Afterwards, we can have a jolly piece.
Oh my God. Speaking of bodies getting ripped in half, did you see this thing? I wanted to ask you about this. I didn't put it in the agenda, but I'll free flow it at you. Did you just see this thing with Chrissy Mayer and Godfrey?
Godfrey the comedian? Or
yeah, where Godfrey, like, basically Chrissy made a joke about the Carmelo Anthony thing, and Godfrey was like, "We're gonna kill you, bitch."
No.
Yeah, it was like, he said something like, try that shit on stage and see what happens. Yeah, here it is. This is fun. Hold on.
I hate the fake activism shit from comedians. Like, do you realize?
Whoops. There we go. Here it is. Let me zoom in on this so you can see it better.
Like, the activism, gotta stop, dude. Like, who are you? Are you a fucking comic or not?
Yeah, so Chrissy made a joke about the Carmelo Anthony thing, and Godfrey commented on her Instagram and said, "Yo, Chrissy, don't let us catch on stage talking that nonsense. The mic won't be the only thing dropped." And so basically, it's just a male black comedian threatening to punch a white comedian. I don't know. Let me see what it is. We'd have to go.
I just want to know what triggers them so much.
Oxygen.
Because I know the number one phrase given in any altercation, any confrontation with black people, that, like, when you go, oh, they're about to fucking chimp out, is you ain't about to disrespect me like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like a go-to phrase. So try that on stage. It's the same. You ain't gonna disrespect me live on the mic like that.
But this kind of brings us back to what we were talking about initially, right? Is like, so our shows are getting canceled because really it boils down to one of our performers founded the Proud Boys. And funny enough, you and I did not know the timeline of this because we haven't really looked at it. But I was like, Gavin, I think the Proud Boys started in like 2016, 2015. Gavin officially left the Proud Boys in 2018. It's been 7 years since Gavin's been a part of the Proud Boys in any sort of capacity.
And I told you this off air. If they never made Trump say that and shoehorn that into a presidential debate, nobody cares. Nobody even knows what it is. But because the whole stand by, stand down, and they shoehorned that into a presidential debate,
yes,
like, that's the only thing that gave it any sort of validity. It was like, what about these white supremacist groups? Like, he was like, who do you want me to denounce? I don't care. Like, who? Sure, Proud Boys.
Yeah,
stand by, stand down.
And then by them calling the Proud Boys a white nationalist group on the debate stage, and him not going, well, wait a minute, they're not actually a white nationalist group. It sort of just becomes like, look, they are. He didn't say they weren't, so they must be.
When you see how these TV stations and networks and shit are run, and the producers that are in their ear doing this, it makes you think, dude, I bet some chick that got fucked by a conservative guy, and she's, he's like, I think I'm about going to this Proud Boys thing next week. In her mind, it was just like, denounce them or else I'm your fucking boss, damn it. Like in their ear, like, okay. And then the fucking dumb moderator says, and how do you feel about white nationalist groups or whatever that are led by Puerto Ricans?
No, black Cubanos, Afro Cubanos running it. Yeah. The worst run white nationalist organization in the history of whites and nationalists, by the way. Well, I used to say that about Gavin and I, where they're just like, I mean, obviously I'm single now, but there's a period of time where, and Gavin's married to a Native American woman. So there's a period of time where I was like, we're two white nationalists who don't even have white nationalist households. You know what I mean? Like, we're the worst.
And that black people go like, well, that's obviously how that's what makes them more racist. I go, what?
What? Yeah. Yeah. It was like
so I would like to also talk about this. The word and the prefix neo-Nazi, right? Neo-Nazi is a new Nazi, right? That's what essentially they're using. But it's so vague and so loose that they want to say it for everything and go, well, these are the new Nazis. This is how it is. They're technically not Nazis, but since we add neo, we can say that they are. And that's the only reason that so much of the JQ stuff has picked up steam and all this is like, why are the Nazis the most evil regime in the history of people when they're not even close? Right? If you look at regimes, right? I mean, Hugo Boss fucking did their uniforms. A lot of Jews were even in the SS, and they have Jewish generals and stuff. They look. There's plenty of stuff that you could look up and you go, were they that bad? I mean, they were the ones sending people sending Jews to Palestine. Like, hey, dude, there's a homeland for you.
This is a great example of nobody cares about facts. So this is John Kinsman. John Kinsman did 4 years for defending himself when the Proud Boys were attacked in New York by it was literally an Antifa ambush. And, the prosecutor in New York was like, this man is obviously a violent white supremacist. This is John and his wife, who is, I don't know if I'm zoomed in far enough for you guys to see, but not white.
Yeah.
So this is a member of the Proud Boys, has a black wife and 2 children, and they put him away for 4 years for being a white supremacist. I mean, the fact that we live in this fucking America, and this is the thing, is like, I meet new people all the time, right? And, now being a single guy in my 40s, meeting new women, a lot of people have this mentality of like, why is this your fight? Like, what? Like, you're not a member of the Proud Boys. You're not running for political office. Like, why do you care about this shit so much? Because it is so critical to our work to say that, like, if we can't agree upon what reality is, how the fuck can I make fun of it?
Yeah.
If we can't agree that the sky is blue, then it won't be ironic when I say it's not. Right? Like, we have to have some baseline of reality to do satire. If fucking reality ceases to exist entirely, then nothing can be satire.
I'll also go one step further than that. When they go, oh, trans this or whatever hot button item there is, they just go, yeah, but who cares? I don't care about that. People are free to do whatever they want, so long as they blah, 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 da, 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 and go, hey, how about you start caring?
Yeah.
Right? This nihilistic approach that, like, who cares? None of anything matters anyways. And you're just like, okay, cool. Then give me all your money. Give me your house. Yeah. Give me nothing matters, right? How about I punch you in your fucking shit right now? Does that matter?
Right in the shit?
Yeah. Just snuff you right now. But does that not matter? Oh, you want to keep your teeth, don't you? Why? They don't matter. Yeah. What do you care about?
This is pretty funny. I do want to share this. Decline host says you can still be racist with a black wife. First of all,
Explain it.
I can't hold on though. I can't think of anything that would make me more racist than having a black wife. But then on cue, Primo Josh Denny fan goes, decline host, no reason to bring Kevin Brennan into this. Now, see, I don't know if Brennan's wife is black, but that's pretty funny. It did make me laugh. And she must be, because decline host said LOL Denny fan. But I mean, it is first of all, that's probably true, right? But it's that then I think you have to get into the merit of how bad is racism really, right? If you can be married to a black woman and still be kind of racist, then doesn't that sort of prove that racism is nothing other than like the same thing as I don't like this TV show, or I don't like this actor, or I don't like this comedian that I'm watching and commenting their podcast on and can't stop, but I don't like it. Like none of it is that heavy. Right.
Here's where like the Godfreys of the world.
Then you're making an argument. Then you're making an argument where racism and hatred are actually two different things.
Yeah, but so then this is where like the Godfreys of the world come in and stuff, is where you go, well, actually, that is what makes them racist, because they do and go, hold on a second. First of all, you know how much patience and non-racism you would have to be to marry a black chick where she could have half of your things or all that? And then here's what else they do. They go, yeah, but they're a sellout black. They ain't one of us. They go, so which is it? She's a sellout who loves white people and all that stuff, or this guy's racist and wants to own a slave in his own house? Like, yeah, which is it? Like, it's so insane to think that, and this is their logic, bro. This is their baseline. This is not like some abnormal thought that they have. This is the baseline for them. That of course you're racist. Look at you with your black wife and your mixed children. Like, of course. Like, how do you even come to of course? Because for me, I go, ugh, why? At first, and then I go, oh, they probably love each other. Right. But at first, you're never going to go, you're going to put up with that if you don't love them? You're going to put up with the entire black community calling them coons and sellouts and this stuff. You're going to put up with your family going, really? You were going to put up with that? And just to be like, hey, guys, I'm actually racist. I just gave her mixed kids to shut her the fuck up.
Right. This is the new racism, is the way.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. What you do is you marry them and you have sex with them, and then that's how you really get them.
See, what I'm going to do is get a job. Work real hard, right? Work my way up to manager, right? Then rob that motherfucker blind.
Yeah, for the record, we were talking about pussy earlier, the kind of drums that it is. I just wanted to show this to everybody. This is what black pussy sounds like.
Steel drums. That's that island pussy.
Yeah.
The blood clots. And a blunt. You see Mr. Busby? Busby pussy? Yeah, for try this, my friend. Yeah, forget the steel then. One pussy like that.
I do think it's funny.
I love the pussy with the dent in it too. There's dents and bubbles. It has
dents in it. It's gonna come with some
dents and bubbles. It's like a pizza bubble in there, but you're like, what are we doing with this? We play it like this with the mallet.
Yeah. And by the way, I do think it's funny that these significantly Afro-Caribbean drums are called steel drums, but a lot of people go, oh, they're made out of steel. No. STEAL. Steel drum.
And after that, they're going to move with the Jews to Pittsburgh.
I will just say that this would be the most peaceful black pussy you've ever heard in your entire life. It probably sounds more like an out of control episode of Jerry Springer.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like that.
That sounds very peaceful. If you found some black pussy that was that calming, congratulations.
Even Jamaican pussy is not that peaceful. Jamaican pussy sounds like dance hall music, like under us, DJ, run it again. You know, that type shit.
It sounds like Skindred.
No, like
You know that band?
like Beanie Man. Yeah. Well, this is Beanie Man, the roughest, toughest, Boombaclot bad man. Oh, na 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 na.
This is this is what Black Pussy sounds like, according to Carl. Let me find it. This is so funny.
I saw Skindred live.
Yeah.
They used to play shows in Florida.
Yeah. See, this is probably more what Black Pussy sounds like.
I told you there's a Jew.
Look at that. A Jew.
I'm not getting the sound.
You're not getting this. Oh, I have it. There we go.
Now we're gonna take you in a different direction.
Sounds right. Talks about Black Pussy.
Those over there asking for selfies. This time I got to say no. Don't try to pull down my bandana. Can't let you ruin my shoe. Then I hear them say, turn around, stupid. Turn around, stupid. Stupid, turn around.
A lot of jackets.
Turn around. I don't care what you got, just give me that. Boom, boom, boom. Just give me that. Boom, boom. Just give me that. Give me
Oh, they had what was the single that they had before that? I don't.
Oh, their most famous single?
Yeah.
Their most famous single was
What was that song called?
Trouble, which is also probably about Black Pussy. I think you're talking about this song. What is this wild, weird opening? Oh, yeah, here we go. I'm pretty sure this is the song you're talking about.
Nah, there was before this.
Pretty funny. Is that Jack Herrera? Oh, this one obviously got George Floyd because he's a ghost.
He got that AIDS.
Yeah,
Is this what Shaggy's up to now?
yeah. No, this would be very cool.
No, this is not it.
This isn't the one you're thinking of.
Uh-uh.
I do think it's funny that all of their. I do think it's funny that all their songs are like Trouble, State of Emergency. It's like, yeah, these are part of the problem. I don't know what song you're thinking of that was before that one. Oh, are you thinking of Pressure?
I don't know.
I think you're thinking of Pressure. That's this one. Nope, that's an ad.
Fatty.
Why am
What
I
an ad.
this?
What
Why
an ad.
am I for this? Is this the one you're thinking of?
I don't think so.
This was their very
Maybe.
first. This was their first single ever.
Yes.
Yeah, this song.
Buzzing up with the music attack. Rip it up with that boom sound we no lack. Got the rhythms of death like
See, we're not racist. We're promoting a reggae metal band. Yeah, this is the song you're thinking of.
Oh, that's right. Turn your system down. Get on the way, time. Burn it.
Pretty good band, by the way. If you guys have never heard of them.
I'm still here.
Oh yeah, that's Skindred. They do songs that are entirely about Black Pussy. It's so funny.
I'm still here.
Speaking of why that's weird.
I think the song is Nobody.
That's what you think it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I can find this. I could just play it on my what do you call it?
Just
Because
the
I
audio.
because I don't need to pull up a tab because I have it in my
I think it's Nobody
thing.
is the song.
this one. know if you can hear this.
Not yet.
My song, we come to take over.
Yes.
This one? Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's like,
By the way, that's the sound of a black dude trying to eat pussy for the first time.
kindred, we come to take over. That shit. Yeah.
But them a come and them a try to we out. On down till we at them.
Yo,
Yeah.
this was on all. This was all
Yeah.
over Florida.
It was on. It was yeah. It's also on like every NASCAR video game, I think, at the time too.
Can I just say this also? This doesn't have shit to do with shit, but
Yeah. Yeah, that could be the alternative name of this show. This doesn't have shit to do with shit.
Shout out to Vito the Wig. It's been a while, but I mean, the last time he came to the show at the end, right? He gave me this.
A woman.
He gave me this patch, right? The Houthi Hunting Club. And Red Sea 2023 to 2024. It's got Tuscan Raiders and shit on there. And there's never been something more relevant that I have that has been given me, just because I just was watching the news the other day, and they have like this tracker that's been like 11 US drones have been shot down by the Houthis, and I'm like, really? Like, so they are the Tuscan Raiders, like literally showing up and just being, just shooting shit down,
just like.
But like, shout out to Vito the Wig, and if I see him soon, I expect another patch of some kind.
Yeah,
to add to the collection.
Yeah, collect them all.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be at the show tomorrow.
Also, is this guy going to get us into I don't want to go over, but like in this whole thing, what is more dramatic right now? Whether or not Trump is going to get us into a war with Iran, or this Polynesian kid leaving Tennessee and not going nowhere and not getting the money he demanded. What do you think is more drama? Because this,
I mean, I'm going to be honest.
Have that, one could shake up the actual world and be like, turn America. It's like, whoa, nobody voted for this. And then the other one just shakes up college football forever.
Oh, you just stepped on I was going to be like, and the other one might just result in a few, 100,000 Iranians dying. No big deal.
I did step on that.
You stepped on.
But I mean, seriously. So this kid, Nico, I'm a leaver.
Yeah, I'm a leaver. Yeah, I'm a leaver.
Yeah, I'm a leaver. She asked me my sign, and what I said, I'm a leaver. You know what I'm talking about? I think you mean Libra. Nah. This kid asked, first of all, while he's in high school, signed a $8 million deal, which would give him about $2.5 million a season until his junior year, where he would collect $8 million. Before that, it comes out that his father and agents and team for more money. And that they were asking for, hey man, no, we're not even in the college football playoffs today for Nico. And you're like, your defense is top 2 in the nation. Right? So it comes out that this guy wants to hold out of the playoffs. Eventually he got his shit pushed in the college football playoffs. Yeah. But now they're like, Colin Cowherd reported that he's going to go to UCLA. That's not even official. ESPN is still reporting, they're the number one prospect, or they're still interested or something. There is no commitment yet. It's the middle of spring ball, Josh. It's literally the middle of spring ball. And this guy is there. Tennessee has said, we're moving on. He demanded $4 million instead of 2.5. Yeah. And I think the rest of the nation, as far as coaches, and now they call them GMs essentially of these programs. So you'll have GMs of the teams now I don't think anybody's going to bite. I think he's going to end up at a JUCO or something. If he could do the JUCO route like a Cam Newton went to the JUCO in Texas, won a national championship, 1 year at Auburn, went undefeated in the SEC, won a national championship.
Yeah.
One of the
First overall pick, right?
arguably the greatest college football year that's ever been done. If he could do something like that, swallow his pride and go to a JUCO and that, but that's going to a JUCO. That's the old way. Now they got the transfer portal, right? Transfer portal opened Wednesday. Crickets.
Yeah. And now, like, you know, according to ESPN here, the only real offer he has on the table is with UCLA for significantly less money.
1.5. And guess what? California, 1.5. What is that after taxes?
Yeah, it's
800,000.
Yeah.
So then guess what? I found out through some ooses, they go, wait till they find out, like, they'll be laughing because he's got a nonprofit that the money would go through in Texas where they don't pay taxes. And I go, yeah, you think they're not going to nail some fucking kid for having a 501(c)(3) that doesn't do anything?
Yeah.
For tax evasion, they will make an example so fucking hard.
Well, this is what I was, when we were talking about this before, this is what I was going to ask you was, is it possible that that he gets almost sort of like Colin Kaepernick in a way where could you see the NCAA ice this kid out to try to make an example of this is what happens when you try to play too much with the portal?
Let's coin it here. Kaepernico.
Yeah.
This is exactly that, except Kaepernick's he was already getting paid. His ankle was still fucked up. He was injured, and then he started playing activist. This kid is just being straight up. I wanted more money. And my dad is fucking doing Ric Flair wheeling and dealing behind the scenes. And the only people that are going to be able to clear it up is him and his team. But who the fuck even wants to hear this kid speak during this, right? They're going to be like, yeah, dude, we already know the terms. Tennessee leaked it. What are you going to clear the air for us? Like, they had a press conference like nobody is above the T. Now, I do think that Tennessee fucked themselves by saying we took a stand. Like, cool. You got to play the Gators, bro. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, you got to play, you're in the SEC, dude. You got to play LSU and shit like that. Like, I don't understand why you would be like, no, we're not going to meet those demands at all. When the University of Miami just paid like $11 million, $4 million a year or some shit for, what's his name from Georgia, who isn't that good, by the way. And it's like, this is the market. This is the game. So what has to happen? Somebody's got to fall. Somebody's got to get a made example of so they can implement, what is this, a salary cap? Or what are we talking? And I think from the beginning, I'm for NIL. NIL means name, image, and likeness, right? It doesn't mean school give you contract. It just meant that, like, if they sell jerseys at the bookstore, you should be able to get a piece of that. If you're in a video game and that's your likeness, you should get a piece of that. If you got a podcast, and it makes money, you shouldn't be ineligible from the NCAA by doing that. That's it. It doesn't mean, hey, step right up. We're going to give you $20 million to play at our school. That school's fucking up. They fucked it all up by saying NIL ruined everything. No, bagmen at schools, boosters, and all that they fucked it up. Now they're going to have to overcorrect the other way. And unfortunately, this kid is going to be that. He's going to be not to say like a martyr, but he's definitely going to be like the example that is made for all of it. Like, absolutely not.
He'll be patient zero for the corrupting of the NIL format.
Yeah, and my biggest thing is I'm all for these kids getting money. I told you the NFLPA has a rule. You only get 3% agents to make that. Even SAG-AFTRA, we are in a steady and even in collective bargaining. All this. The reason they want agents in this town want to put people on non-union work is so they can collect 20%.
Right.
The SAG-AFTRA is saying even on union work, no matter what, most you can get is 10% from the client. There is no rules for this. 20, 30, 40. Some of them have signed
I'm
their
thinking
fucking rights to
50%.
things, signed their rights to their future salary in the league over and shit. Like the kid from Florida Gators who's like 70% of his salary was going back to like pay this firm and shit. It's crazy. So like the kids are getting taken advantage of, and then what's their job as an agent? Go get the most money possible, right? So if there's no cap on how much money they can make, why would they have any loyalty to a team? And they go, actually, hey, you're the best. I'm going to go get you some. So Nico's dad or him could have been like, hey man, do your job. Go get me more money. And they're like, fine, we can do it. By the way, it might involve blowing up the team and you have to go somewhere else and shit. Like they don't. And unfortunately for this kid, that's what's going to happen. He might end up at LA Southwest getting ref by Theo and them. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, he might end up at Long Beach City College and shit, right by the Ooses back home, by playing in the same stadium he played in high school. You know,
Yeah.
down at that stadium in Long Beach.
Right.
And I just don't know where it goes. Like, what is the first step? Well, the cards falling, him going through the transfer portal window and not signing with anybody. Like, I don't know, dude. What do you think?
Yeah, and you know, the other thing too is like he could roll the dice and say, well, maybe if I hold on, like a starter at a big program will get injured or something. You know, it's just kind of like free agency, really, is what it boils down to. Like, you know, and it's kind of funny. He wears the same number as Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers is probably in the same boat where Aaron Rodgers is going to have to now sit through the draft. He's going to have to sit through training camps and see what teams do, and then he's probably going to sign with some team in late August.
That was wild as fuck, though. Did you hear that story that he told about
the 20-minute meeting with
second?
No, was it? Well, he said the whole meeting was like 15 minutes, but it was a 20-second conversation with
Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn came in the room. He's like, "I'll be right back." Came in with the GM. It was just like, "We're going in a different direction." He was like,
"Yeah,
hey, you could have called me on the phone."
Right. Yeah,
and he's like, well, we just wanted to, know how we want to go about the messaging. And he's like, the messaging?
I don't give a fuck about
I don't give a fuck about that. Ain't no problem. Right.
Yeah.
And we seen it. He looked like he was, on death's door someplace. And then some like, oh, he still got it. And it's just like, all right, if he retired, nobody's going to get mad at him. But the Jets acting like that makes people go, what free agent is going to sign there?
Yeah. Yeah, not just that, but also then the question is, does it light a fire under Aaron Rodgers' ass to be like, fuck you, I'll go play in your division?
Please don't. Imagine him going to the Patriots and winning a Super Bowl.
Right. Like, but I mean,
with Vrabel.
I mean, stranger things have happened. So, for me, it's just like, it is shitty, but I don't know how you feel about this, but like, we're in sort of like a milestone year, and it's not just with like politics, with this is the end of the Trump era, like the quarterbacks we just spent the last 2 decades watching, the hockey players like Ovi that just broke the record that we just spent the last 20 years watching, your I don't want to just make this about me, but your 12-year relationship coming to an end. It's like we're in this sort of evolutionary era where like almost the slate in America is kind of getting wiped clean across the board, where like these legacies are just going to go away. Like in 4 years, Trump's going to go away. Aaron Rodgers might not sign with the team. He might just go away. Tom goes away. Ovechkin's probably going to, they're going to have this run and he'll probably retire and go away. And so everything that we've kind of known America to be for the last 20 years is resetting.
Will be Blockbuster.
Yeah.
America's about to be Blockbuster.
So, and you kind of wonder what that looks like for everybody, right? And I don't know how people watch it.
Probably looking like China coming and talking. Poor America, would you like to perhaps have one of our flying drone cars or take you everywhere? Except a bee, though. It smelled really bad when he rode in last time. If you're a view, though, please don't ride in our drone mobile car anymore.
First of all, the Chinese don't make anything that can lift people like me or Vito, so that's where we'll be safe. They don't see us as people; they see us as livestock. So, there's a better, if China takes over America, there's a better chance they'll give us the fucking pressure thing from No Country for Old Men that they'll put us in a fucking some kind of hell.
Call it, friendo.
Yeah, right, exactly. That'll be what the Chinese do with people like me and Vito.
Heads or tails.
Or they'll put us in diapers and make us fight each other, which that could be fun too, you know? Little sumo action.
I don't know. Why are they throwing all the ladies out in the dumpsters? The ladies? First of all, they're babies.
Oh, shit. It's funny stuff. But no, I mean, it's like everything's about to get reset. And I think everybody's probably going like, man, you know, we're entering this new era. Like, what's that going to look like? And where do I fit in? And I think that we were kind of in this transitional phase with a lot of people. A lot of people I talk to are feeling that way of like, you know.
Hello, sir. Maybe, perhaps, and perhaps you can hear me out. Would you like to fit in the whole pussies? Because that is where you can fit in. You can fit in.
I got to go
like,
on the whole thing.
Your whole bodies will be inside of the pussies.
Oh, I gotta
Don't
tell
worry.
you,
It's if you're afraid of the dark, it is as scary. But don't worry, we can light a match.
Okay, I want to share something with you. It just came into my mind, and it makes me laugh, but it's kind of gross. Do you know the way that like a lo mein noodle is like oilier than like a spaghetti?
Yeah.
Their pussies are the exact same way. It's like this.
Yes.
It's like a fried, oily. It's like a lo mein.
That is why they tell you that you are what you eat.
And you go, and I just go like, do I like how this tastes? I don't even know if I like how this tastes.
I'll tell you, sometimes it's better cold.
It is better cold.
You turn that thermostat down.
It is better cold, isn't it? This makes
you turn
so
that
much
thermostat down. Why do you think they serve it in boxes? Get you used to it.
Yeah. I ate the whole box. It's like, yeah, you did.
Yeah. And
now my stomach doesn't feel so good.
Would you like to add the MSG for a flavor?
Is that why I fall asleep right after?
Yeah.
I've been dosed?
Yeah, you're trying to eat the pussy with the MSG.
Hey man,
and it tastes like a romaine.
Don't ruin your whole act for tomorrow for everybody.
don't eat your pussy with the romaines.
Oh, god damn! This is. I think you ruined Chinese food for me.
That's okay. I'm fasting today, so I don't really feel the normally when we talk about food, I'll be like, oh, that sounds good. So I don't care if I'm grossing myself out with things. I'm using it to like psych myself out to not be hungry.
To not eat. Yeah, that works. Hey, Carl, how do you fast, for Lent? Well, I think about eating the pussy of Asian women, and then I lose my appetite.
Don't forget about the Boombaclot pussy. We don't want no blood clot pussy. You know what a Boombaclot is?
No, I have no idea.
Check it out. I got you. So you know how we have tampons?
Get the fuck out of here.
A Boombaclot is a rag that they use to soak up period blood. Go and wash it down the red. And that's why it is the #1 cuss word in Jamaican patois.
Oh my God, you're not lying. I just Googled this. Oh, Boombaclot.
I am a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, I would call it a wealth. Oh,
Jamaican slang term. It means a variation of Boombaclot.
Sanitary napkin or bathroom white. Wait,
Yeah.
So it literally is a clot for your bumba.
For your bum, it's a Boombaclot.
Oh God.
So anytime you've ever heard Buju Banton or any Beanie Man or any famous and they start the song, they be like Boombaclot. You're
Yeah,
like,
and it says insulting vulgarity that refers to either menstrual pads or toilet paper. Oh God, I did not know this.
yeah, man. I used to listen to a
Oh,
lot of reggae and dance hall
well,
and
this
shit.
is becoming obvious. This is where the N-word Carl is poking out. Oh, Boombaclot.
Yeah. So
Disgusting.
there's Ross means head. So they say things like Bomba Ross, shit like that, which probably just means pussy head.
Shithead.
Yeah.
No, I mean shithead.
Yeah, but the clot, that's the rag. And so it was a rag. So
Oh.
it says like sanitary napkin and shit like that. That's only modernized.
Yeah, but
It
this one
used to
says
be
menstrual pads down
yeah,
here.
so it used to be a rag that they would sop it up with and then go and wash it in the river.
Sop it up with. Oh,
Yeah, like
Oh.
mopping sauce.
I mean, oh God, what the fuck is wrong with you? Wasn't one of us isn't trying to fast today?
I'm gonna make you
Oh.
fast, motherfucker.
You're gonna make me thin. Oh, this is gonna turn me gay. My God.
I don't get it. I don't get how you go from there to there.
I don't know.
Talk about jumping the gun. By the way, you want to look this up? Speaking of gay
Sure.
and
I
Jamaican
don't, but let's
patois,
do it. Sure, let's do it.
Same vein. Anytime you hear them talk about Bati boy or Bati man.
Oh yeah, I know what Bati boy is.
Yeah, so that's why like Bougie Banton is like banned because they say like he's homophobic. It was like, have you ever listened to any of the reggae? They hate him.
Yeah.
Bro,
Well,
boom bye bye. Okay, song from Bougie Banton is about shooting gays.
Yeah.
It's like boom bye bye in a butty boy head. And you're like, oh my goodness, this song is catchy.
If you did get boom bye bye in the Bati boy head, you could use a Boombaclot to treat the wound, right?
There you go. Now you know how to speak patois.
Well, listen, I'm glad the show's been educational today for me and all the other whites.
You're gonna listen, whether you take a cruise or something, some dude serving you, you're down in the Bahamas or something, motherfuckers start serving you.
Probably not gonna happen.
They hire Jamaican dudes and stuff, Bahamian dudes, they speak patois too, but like you be in like, I don't know, Negril, Jamaica, you're drinking some
Negril?
you're drinking some Red Stripes, and this dude was just like, serving you like this guy is like, hey yo, where the Boombaclot bathroom? And you'd be like, my God. And you're like, that dude is gonna teach, and if they react like that, that dude is gonna teach you all types of like slangs and cuss words and shit and
Nice.
in Jamaican. It's actually really fun.
Yeah. No, it seems fun.
That's kind of one of my favorite things is cuss words in other languages. That's the go-to. When you hear somebody speak differently, you're just like, all right, what's a cuss word in your language, dude? And the fact that theirs is pussy rag.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
It's great, dude. It's great. What does this mean? I'm so glad you asked. You know when the girl, she have a drip. She have a drip every month, same thing when it come out every month, same time, And you're like, are you talking about periods? Yeah. That's the Boombaclot, right?
Oh, disgusting.
Yaffa try this.
No, I will not. I will not, Jamaican Carl.
Brother, Yaffa try this, yeah? You're like, I'm sorry, are you washing the table? That's why, like, they're wiping down a table with a rag and they'd be like, your table's right ready for you. I'd be like, get that Boombaclot the fuck out of here.
Oh my God, somebody posted this. When she gonna make you get the chocolate for her? Oh, this show has gone full retard.
We're off the rails.
There are no rails for this show at all. And listen, if you like comedy shows going off the rails, come to the one tomorrow night. We'll be in the valley
right here.
Yeah,
tiny URL /
I'll put the banner. You can go to censored.tv/tour.
There you go.
Or you can go to tinyurl.com/censored live and yeah.
And tickets, there's only a few more tickets left, actually. So
yeah, there's less than 10 tickets left. So
if you want to, and you're in the LA area,
We'd love to see you.
come out. And if you want to be just a hater, like the infiltration Samantha lady, buy a ticket, get the info, and then we won't give you a
Don't
charge back anyway.
Yeah.
And don't come.
And also, support us over on Patreon. Well, this is redundant. I put the Patreon link over the Patreon link, but we want you to join the Patreon.
Hate for 8. That's our thing. You can hate for 8. You can also send me something on Venmo at Carl Spitali if you want, and I won't refund you. I won't send it back to you. I'll say thanks.
Yeah, and he'll send you a personalized Boombaclot.
We should sign Boombaclots.
Okay,
We'll just dish rags that we'll just sign, and then
listen, I'm a big fan of throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. And something tells me a Boombaclot will stick to the wall very nicely.
Well, it might hit it and then just slide down.
Smear slowly. Yeah, that would be interesting. I would love to see. It was funny. There was there was a clip from Melton's show where he was talking about I took a shit, and by the way, I think he said his house. I took a shit in our hotel room one time and left poop ass hair stains smeared on the toilet seat. Now he thinks he thinks this was not intentional. I did it to be funny because he was like rushing me to use the bathroom. So I just left a shit smear all over the toilet seat. And he's like, this motherfucker doesn't know how to wipe his ass. Now, what we could do is I could do the same thing with my ass hairs in some of these Boombaclots.
Nobody wants it.
And I could smear. What are you talking about? Nobody wants it. You don't know. Nobody wants that.
Nobody. I could guarantee you.
Nobody wants like a authentic game used Josh Denny Boombaclot. Not a single person. You know what you could do with that? You could put it in a case.
That is how you spread the AIDS. And you don't want to spread AIDS.
Well, listen, if you come to the show tomorrow and you want me to personalize your Boombaclot, bring it. I will wipe my ass with it. There's bound to be something in there fresh at any moment to just stamp your tramp and get you on your way. So yeah, it's a great way to end the show, right? Come on out. Come on out and I'll shit your hand.
Then you can wipe it off with a Boombaclot.
Yeah. Bring your Boombaclots down. I'll stamp them for you. No certificate of authenticity.
Come on down.
Thank you guys for joining us tonight. And this is funny. Somebody goes, "You're fucking losers, and nobody likes either of you." Hey, thanks for hanging on for 2 hours. Fuckface. Nobody likes you. I can't even believe I sat here and watched this for 90 minutes of my life. Good job.
Who the fuck even likes these fucking guys I just watched for 2 fucking hours, dude? Fucking nobody. That's who. And I'm going to take the time to write it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.